Sets of 4 instead of sets of 10?
Same thing.
No, it's not, Mark.
But
the amount of time under tension, the amount of times you have to breathe before going down to the next rep.
If you think about it like this, and I'm just sitting there like, dunk, 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 dunk. Not the same. Not the same.
I'm glad we're having this conversation because you do this a lot. And it's time that I sit your ass down and tell you why they're different.
Especially when I get super close to contest, that's where like the imposter syndrome, like, is I would say like at its peak too.
Yeah, it is.
Well, what's going on, guys? Marc Sanchez. We are back here with another YouTube video. It's been kind of a while. So today we have a very special episode today because my coach, Gabriel Peña, is coming here. He is unfortunately not in Texas right now, so I don't feel very proud to call you the Texas Titan, but
I'm still a Texas Titan. I'm just not living in Texas. You can just call me Gabe.
Gabe the Texas Titan. He'll always be the Texas Titan to me. But yeah, so Gabe's here. Since Gabe and I have been working together for what, about 3 years now, actually. It's been about 3 years since we started working together. My first show working with Gabe, I ended up beating him in the show together and earned my pro card, which is really nice. That's always going to be something that I live with.
Yeah, you got bragging rights for life for that. I like that you're using them.
Yeah. So I beat a World Strongest Man competitor. It was really cool. Gabe was also bald back then. So we've had a lot of really good memories together. Gabe, when we first met, was living down very, 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 very south of Texas. And I live here in Colorado Springs. So getting time together is a rare opportunity. And we have been hanging out now for like the past hour and a half. And we have not done a single thing besides talk. So.
Because I miss you, man.
I know. It's been nice. Gabe, you want to give the people that will watch this video an update? Where you been?
I have been living life as a father. I've moved from Texas to Indiana in the last few months, and all of the prep work that went into that move and the settling in phase, it's just been a very long process. And on top of that, being a full-time dad, making memories and having adventures along the way, I guess it's easy to kind of feel like I've been a little bit of a ghost.
Yeah, I know.
You called this a proof of life video earlier. Hi, I'm here, I'm alive.
Gabe is alive. Gabe still coaches me. And yeah, I love it. I don't know if you're looking for athletes or anything like that, but I know that we talked about how you have a pretty specific list of athletes you're working with. But yeah, are you looking to pick up any clients? Or
now that I'm all settled in Indiana and we've established our roots at home, if I have a very short roster of athletes, and I have room on that for anyone who's willing to put in the work and actually hungry for what that entails.
Nice.
So if you're interested, reach me out. I've got time now, and I'd love to have you on board, but be ready to work.
Be ready to do things like sets of 20 and all kinds of AMRAPs.
You just scared off all my future clientele right there.
Yeah.
But he's not lying.
So today, it's no secret that I suck at Circus Dumbbell. Relatively, I wouldn't say I suck, but it's definitely one of my weak points. So since we have the special opportunity to have my coach here in person, maybe Gabe will also be doing Circus Dumbbell with me.
We'll see.
We'll see. Gabe, you want to tell everybody what you just did yesterday?
Not yesterday, the day before yesterday. Yeah. My wife, Bianca, and I climbed Colorado's highest peak, Mount Elbert.
How many vertical feet, or how many feet in elevation is that?
Mount Elbert is 14,448 feet. It's the tallest peak in the state and the second highest peak in the lower 48 United States, behind Mount Whitney, I believe.
It sounds like Gabe has proved that gravity does not exist.
Oh, it exists. Believe me, it exists.
Gravity's not a thing. Gabe is the only person that at least I personally know who has definitely been somewhat over 300 pounds to do a 14er in Colorado. And if you don't know, it's basically 14,000 feet in elevation. Okay, so for Circus Dumbbell, you being my coach, what do you think some of the most key, critical, I don't know, maybe like muscle groups, or, if you're a novice strongman, not a lot of people getting into the sport have access to Circus Dumbbells. Mm-hmm. What do you think some of the biggest things you should focus on training-wise if you're going to get ready for a show for Circus Dumbbell?
I think two components that are often overlooked as being integral to the Circus Dumbbell is going to be your foundational foot position, so like your root to the ground, and the way that your core moves beneath the shoulders as you're holding that weight, not just at the shoulders, but up overhead. There's a lot of foundational work that needs to be done. So doing some dumbbell exercises, period, whether it's a dumbbell in each hand or one dumbbell, kind of getting comfortable with how the body moves and holds itself with that non-bilateral weight, that weight that you're using only one arm for. So
sense.
I think training with dumbbells, even if it's not a heavy monster bell, even if your gym only goes up to 50 pounds in the dumbbells, hitting some one-arm strict presses, or maybe even some one-arm push presses, the communication of the body as a whole and making sure that your weight is still evenly dispersed through those 2 feet is the biggest point. Your roots are everything for this exercise. And I know when we can look back on some of the things that you've had to work on recently, it's making sure that when you dip down for the dumbbell drive to throw it, that there's no left, right, overly front or back shift. You're perfectly centered, evenly dispersed. We all start from the ground up, so that's where I'm going to put the most attention to for any novices getting into circus dumbbell, is make sure that your legs and your body hold itself evenly.
Gotcha.
Because the circus dumbbell, it looks like a shoulder press, but it is a throw and a catch. You have to be able to throw it accurately and catch it confidently overhead.
Would you recommend that if you're an athlete trying to train circus dumbbell and you don't have access to one, do you think let's say for example, a normal gym dumbbell and a fat grip is something sufficient in training? Like,
Absolutely.
Is that something that you think relates to it?
Absolutely. Even just a normal dumbbell.
Okay.
It's going to teach you how to move beneath that weight as you throw it. But that fat grip that you can put on there, we can see your dumbbell right here. It's got essentially like that energy drink, almost soda can thickness right there.
A little battle frame, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, so I would argue the pro level, most circus dumbbell handles vary between about 2.5 to 3 inches in
girth.
Correct. In girth, sure. And so I think one of the things that I have to reflect on too is I don't know if it's mental or if it's a positioning thing, but when I go from like a 2.5 inch handle to a 3 inch handle, for some reason things just completely go off. I don't really know. I know you and I have talked about it. We've worked on it a couple times too. I haven't even thought about touching that circus dumbbell this prep. It's just hiding there in the corner. But that is something that throws me off, and I don't know. Like, I don't want to inspire getting too into the minutia of like equipment, right? Because especially if you're starting out your strongman journey, like everywhere you go, every show you do, the equipment's likely going to be different anyways. So having the ability to train on the equipment that you're going to be competing in is honestly a blessing. Like, you're going to get that opportunity very minimal, in my opinion, in my experience. So just kind of get strong, I guess.
Yeah, get strong and don't get too caught up in fretting the details.
Yeah.
Think about what your body is doing and what it can be doing better.
Right.
That's always at the center of your focus.
Gotcha, yeah. Last question, from a competitive standpoint, obviously it's better to have more versatility in your tool set, but what do you actually think about muscle imbalance in being able to train circus dumbbell on like both sides?
That is a good question. I think in the perfect world, you want to have that bilateral symmetry. You want your left to be as strong as your right and vice versa. But along the way, especially in an extreme sport like strongman, the body gets beat up. And so there will be a time, maybe when you start circus dumbbell, that you're able to do both arms, but then you pick up an injury along the way to one side. And unless you want to take a complete break from doing circus dumbbell, which might not be an option if you have it in contest, then you're forced to work with one side. And then from that point on, it's really hard to get out of that, oh, now I need to train this arm because it's playing catch up. There's that compensation going back and forth. In reality, the circus dumbbell is a one-arm exercise. There's no rules in competition I'm aware of that says you have to do it with both arms. Okay. So if you get to that point of injury where one arm is weaker than the other, get the job done with the arm that you have. Just make sure that there's not a big enough gap in between left and right that you can't do things like log press or axle effectively.
Do you think when you were, say for example, like I'm right hand dominant, right? And I'll circus dumbbell primarily with my right, and I have trained with my left as well. Do you think the cues for your right should be the exact same as the cues for your left?
I think just by basic understanding of that question, yes, they should. But there are other things that can go into that uniquely for the person.
Things that are that are specific.
Yeah, if you have an athlete that does have some limitations in their mobility on any of their left side musculature, whether it's hip, shoulders, core versus their right, then there might be some cues. They're like, okay, well, we need to pull out just a little bit more on the hips on that side, or push against it with your shoulder blade, whatever that cue may or may not be.
So basically, if you're perfectly symmetrical, they should be exactly the same.
Yes, if they are.
But there's always going to be variations because you have, left-right limitations.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to warm up. We're probably going to just kind of have the camera running every now and then, maybe in between sets while we talk about things, and then get started so we can not make this workout 4 hours long.
Yeah, buddy.
Sweet, let's do it.
All right.
Get the itch.
I don't know about that. The itch will disappear as soon as the tendonitis starts warming up.
So I feel like for me, as I've gotten a little bit better at Circus Dumbbell, I've actually ditched the hard belt. And I noticed like Lucas Hatton also does that. Do you feel like, I don't know, it's like, is Circus Dumbbell one of those things where like equipment is definitely like shooter's choice? Like
100%. Even getting back to what I was just talking about the core being so often overlooked.
Right.
If you get, a belt can be a limitation factor on the core.
Right.
If you feel like you can move your core more confidently and comfortably without the belt there, by all means, go
Kinda
for
like
it.
when we threw a suit on for deadlifts and I'm not wearing a belt
Yeah,
anymore.
man, and with dumbbell being a exercise where it's all on one side of the body, just getting it there, it's very hard for your core to be relaxed in a way that it's not always under some type of tension.
Right.
So thinking that the belt is holding you together sort of thing, that conversation is like a non-starter because you're good.
No, it makes
if you're
sense.
comfortable without it, do it.
Well, I wear the soft belt still, but
Yeah.
it's just a little bit for like keeping my core warm.
Good. Only thing I would say is you didn't breathe at all by the time you got the dumbbell there.
Interesting. I thought
Let yourself take a breath in to reestablish your brace once the dumbbell's here.
from the rack.
Yeah. You didn't breathe, and you can see it. Come on. Big breath in, big brace to the core. All right. One more. Did you breathe?
Yeah, but through my nose.
Okay.
It was kind of like, as I got it here, it was like from my belly, it was, and then I held
Use
it.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Use your mouth for the diaphragm aspect.
That's fair.
It's hard to get your diaphragm punching out without the mouth and throat muscles coming into it too.
Makes sense.
That was not good.
It's pretty.
No, it was not. It was not. That's rust right there.
See, it's flying over these.
Huh?
Like even for you climbing a mountain the other day, like your leg power still seems so it's still there.
Oh, thanks, man. It's
Because you are literally just catching it.
yeah, I'm trying to
Looks stiff, but
feel very stiff. Definitely feel the mountain.
yeah.
We'll do one more.
The Indiana Titan has returned. You know what's funny? I mean, talking about being like a strong man and being like large, right? Because we talked about this earlier. We're like, there's not a lot of guys at our level anymore who are like over 400 pounds.
No, there's not. And it's literally only going to be those guys that are at that 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" range.
Right.
Because that's just the reality of
just
their body
naturally,
frame.
yeah.
But what have we seen consistently? I think not just in the era of Mitch Hooper, but from the time when, if I think in the recent scope of things, back when Martins won.
Yeah.
This is where you see the archetype of who can do well on everything, not just particular events. Being a well-conditioned person, that starts getting in people's mind where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm 360 right now, but how well can I really move? And athletes are starting to be more critical of doing their conditioning,
Right.
dropping that body weight. And there's kind of like a nice Goldilocks zone where you can be conditioned, but not lose any of the strength.
Right. I got asked this in a podcast once actually, but do you think the nature of that has become sport driven or athlete driven? As in, like, do you think athletes are finding better performance in being lighter weights, or do you feel like the sport has maybe seen some deaths and maybe ideally being a bowling ball?
That is a good question. I think both aspects have to be right. If you have a sport that is wanting to consistently grow, and with that growth, a ingredient in that recipe is having athletes come back
Right.
year after year.
Right.
If the athletes are not able to preserve their health, then they won't come back. You won't get these ongoing stories that are so good for TV or the history books to show. So you got to care for the athletes, maybe having events cater to that. But then athletes now, with advances in science and just awareness of how life should be, with having certain cares and preventative measures more accessible, it is easier to be to have the desire to be more healthy, to be more conditioned. This is a sport where everything's so extreme, not just the weights, but the feels and the body sizes too. Like what percentage of strongman athletes at the elite level do you think are sleeping without a CPAP?
That's a good one.
Right? I mean, but it's a minuscule amount. Like everyone is showing up for their flight with their medical equipment, you know?
I guess to better answer that question, need one. They might not necessarily have one, but they definitely need one.
Yes.
I can agree with that.
And if there are any select individuals in that demographic, there's like, if I did this a little bit more often, maybe I wouldn't need it as badly as I do. That's just one example. I mean, you can also have completely shredded, like sub 200-pound athletes who need a CPAP as well. Like all of those things come into the account.
Because you made an excellent point about how the sport's kind of changing, like naturally in a sense. In a sense, do you feel like if you were to take, you know, the path to World's Strongest Man, Gabe, and that was the actual center, right? Do you think it would have been easier to go to World's Strongest Man then or now, if you were the same person, right? Like, so say for example, how old were you when you qualified for World's Strongest Man?
30.
So let's say you're 30 in both instances. Do you feel like with how, you know, peptides and, you know, health sciences and publicly accessible information, do you feel like it would have been easier for you to get to Worlds now, or do you think it would have been about the same? Do you think it would have been just as hard, even with all this information that we have available?
I think it only gets harder year after year. I think that's just the reality. Is you start getting, the sport continues to grow, advances continue to be made, people continue to get interested.
Right.
When those fields start getting larger and larger, and the roster is still limited to 30 people, and whittled down to 10, it's a lot more lucrative.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get in, to get noticed, to set yourself apart from the others. So I would say it's harder now.
Just because essentially the pool has essentially grown.
Yeah. I don't think, and there are some people that will see that reality and let that be an intimidation factor and scare them away from pursuing it.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like how, for me, I mean, factually it kind of is, but like unofficially, I am the world's strongest Filipino. There's never been a Filipino to represent at the official Strongman Games, and there's never been a Filipino athlete to represent the Philippines that has essentially beat me. Mm-hmm. So I am not going to say that I was the one who told myself to call myself that, but you know, I mean, like, factually, that is kind of true.
Yeah.
Nobody's stepped up. And I challenge all people who are potentially Filipino that watch this video. I would encourage that. I want somebody to try and take that title. I want to be the next Texas Titan.
You want that title to be something that's contested with a wide array of people.
Exactly, right? Like, I don't want to be the guy that just showed up to the party and he's like, oh, that guy's the world's strongest Filipino because there's no one else there.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to have to be like this. I assume that I am because no one else has.
Right, exactly.
Versus I know that I am, or they know that they are because there's 50 of us who are now contesting that on a yearly basis.
Exactly.
So
that's something that I try personally, like outside of the Circus Dumbbell video, in training with Gabe. Like, that is something that I take really good pride in. If you're watching this video and you happen to be in the Philippines, we haven't announced it yet, but I have been working with Lynn Morehouse at the official Strongman Games, and there will be a Philippines OSG qualifier coming in the next year. So
that's awesome.
Has not been announced
yet. First
yet.
time I'm hearing about it.
So,
that's super cool.
Yeah, I won't get into the details because I obviously am not a resident of the Philippines, so I'm leaving a lot of the planning, but I'm kind of an advisor role. But I got the Philippines, the Strongman League, the Philippines Strongman League. I got them in touch with Lynn, and we got them kind of coordinating. So there will be an official OSG qualifier in the Philippines happening next year.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I got to catch you guys up on. I've been doing a lot of things, and YouTube has been a very low priority, but high priority needs to be the Circus Dumbbell workout.
All right, get it. You're gonna get a bubble in the eye. All right. You need to work on the breathing.
I'm breathing. It's
I need to see you breathe with your mouth.
It's not loud.
I need to see it. The diaphragm aspect, Marc, is huge. Right here. Big breath, big brace. Not bad.
I felt like I pressed away
Elbow
from it,
sank a little bit on the drive.
and I pressed away a little bit. I felt like.
Yeah, elbow dropped down right as you were coming up. Big breath, let's go. Nice, that was awesome. That was well done, well balanced.
Watching myself.
Yeah,
As I got into the right miles, like,
that was awesome.
yeah.
Good rep. Repeat it. Foundation, breathing, brace. Power. Awesome, Mark. Really well done.
Well, good.
2 great reps.
Yeah.
2 great reps. I would say 210.
Yeah.
So another 10 pounds.
That had nothing to do with that.
Wrist wrap.
As soon as I cleaned it, it started digging in my arm.
Come on.
Oh, fuck.
Not bad once you finally got.
Oh, I felt like my elbow was like super low.
Watch out, Mama. It took you quite a long time to get set up in position.
And I don't really know why. It didn't. It definitely felt a little heavier than normal. Something about my stance, where when I went for the dip, it was just all in my kneecaps. And then I could not get that weight set.
Yeah, that took a lot of power out of you. Your launch looked a lot better than I thought it would have, considering all that.
Yeah.
But that was adding up a lot of time.
But I think the thing that threw me off from locking it out was when I hit the dip. I don't know what I did differently. They just went all through my knees.
Can you play it again? Can you replay it on your camera?
Yeah.
Come on. Quick at the shoulder.
Oh shit.
Oh, it was looking so good.
I was blacking out.
Oh. Did you let out too much air?
I don't know, but I was getting dizzy.
Yeah. On your clean, activate your hips and your arms with accuracy. My clean looked a little bit rushed. It's not 240, it's not 250. We were just talking about the confidence you have in being able to hit those weights. It's very real. But this is sub-maximal. Take your time, be precise. It's not a weight to fear, it's a weight to manhandle. Here we go. Not bad. Not bad. I know it didn't lock, but it was not bad.
That hurt though. That
Yeah?
hurt a lot.
Where?
Well, I feel like when I went, I don't feel like I normally do that because I feel like I normally lock. I feel like I press this way, and when I hit here, just, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. That fucking hurt though.
Okay. Hurt is not good.
It's fine now.
Yeah, no, I know, but in the moment.
On the press, it fucking was like a stab.
Let's watch that one again. This right here. When you do get it in your set, compare the 190 to all the 210 attempts in a sense of where are you here?
Right.
what's going on here.
Okay.
Are you doing this a little bit more on the heavier weight? Or I want to know. I want to know.
I think the big thing that I've noticed too is that there's a bit of an inconsistency in terms of like, so Josh Lancaster's the one that showed me how to do that little belly clean thing. I think there's a bit of an inconsistency in the landing spot. And what I mean by the landing spot is like when the dumbbells get heavier, I feel like it's, I don't know what it's doing, but I feel like the dumbbell's more down my back just because maybe it's heavier. And I don't know, I don't feel like I have that torque. But I don't know, it's so...
Because when you were that other set, not this last one, but the one before, where you were up here a long time and it kept going away, it kept moving forward.
Yeah.
So that makes me think your elbow was a little too far back and not under it enough.
Yeah. I think when it comes to that heavier dumbbell, like the positioning just, it throws me off.
If there's an inconsistency with the clean, then there's really only two options. Practice it to where there's not the inconsistency, or go to a different clean. The thing with this clean is you've made it look really good.
It's really easy.
You've made it look really good, and it's easy.
Yeah, no, I think I'm not mad about this actually.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. I mean, the reason you went up to 210 was because 190 looked good. You're going to need to continue to break in those shoes.
Yeah,
obviously.
That hurt.
Yeah. No,
As I've taken
I know
them off.
that's a big thing. Practicing the breathing is huge.
Yeah,
with your mouth too.
That's also like the first time that you and I have talked about it, right?
I know. Yeah.
It's never really seemed like it's been a thing.
It's never seemed like it's been a thing because I haven't been here in person to like miss hearing the breath that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Like being here in person and seeing nothing but silence before you go to your press, like, whoa, there's one big component missing. I can't hear it.
But the thing is I don't feel like I'm holding my breath. I'm just being very intentional of how I breathe to not, because the biggest thing is like, I don't want to be in a position where like I'm going for the dip and drive and I'm like,
that's not it at all though. I mean, yes, we are having to make sure that you don't black out, but your body position here versus here are two very different ribs positions.
Right, agreed.
When you get the dumbbell here and all that weight is bearing down, now you're top heavy. If there's any softness here, even if it's a half of a degree, you're going to wind up having that as a buffer to your power. Versus taking that big breath here in your new position, filling up all that space with that diaphragm. That's one of the biggest things you can have as an asset for supporting your dumbbell.
That all makes sense. No, I agree.
But if it's new, it's going to feel weird. And you're going to have to remind yourself and be in your head about it, and that's not fun.
We're right there. So guess who joined us? The Rock is here. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is here.
What's up, people?
But yeah, so anyways, we wrapped up Circus Dumbbell. Jason showed up because he's here for lunch and just wanted to hang out since Gabe's in town. But we worked up to 210. What do you think about my Circus Dumbbell today?
I think
I
we're
got dramatically shorter now that my shoes are off.
we're implementing some things, some new aspects of your dumbbell, even down to the breathing, to where it's getting comfortable with these new additions here. You were having a little bit of a challenge with it feeling set on the shoulder, but we didn't really notice that until we went to the 210 range.
Right.
So
190 felt simple. Very simple.
That's the reason we jumped up, is 190 looked great. But the 210 range, there's a little bit of work that needs to be done with feeling secure and accurate on the shoulder. With going to be some practicing on the clean. You're going to be some practicing in that 190 range because it looked good, but that was the limit to where it looked good.
What do you think's been the biggest variation? I mean, you and I have been working together now for almost 3 years. What do you think the biggest thing is that you've noticed about coaching me in person versus being, a little bit more remote?
The times when I get to come in person, like today, I get to feel and view everything about your training, to where even some of the videos, I didn't get to hear the feedback of your breathing. And that's a big one specifically for what we're working on today.
Right.
So getting to taking the full picture, seeing how you recover between your sets off of the videos, and how much of you is left after each of these attempts, that's something that you can't really get through the remote feed.
Yeah, and I guess too, I know I expressed it earlier, like me coaching athletes too now is like, one of the biggest things that I think some athletes don't put enough emphasis on is that you don't just hire a coach to give you a workout. There's a partnership, there's a collaboration that needs to happen, right? And I'm not perfect at it. There's definitely times where I'm really good. There's definitely times where I'm really good about here's my day, super tired going into the workout, didn't eat very much today, slept like crap last night. I'm very, very detailed about, my life coming into the training session, right? And I think, if you're an athlete getting into strongman as well, like some of the things that you need to understand is that, especially if you have a remote coach, they're not hovering over you your entire life, right? They don't know that you slept for 2 hours last night or you got hammered, which you shouldn't be doing. You got hammered the night before, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's like, if Gabe is writing my program and I'm going to a concert tonight and I have to work out tomorrow, if I get sloshed tonight and then I go in and I have to deadlift, 800 something pounds tomorrow, is it going to feel optimal? Probably not. It's that collaboration of being an athlete with your coach and making sure that you're also telling your coach, like, hey, nutrition's messed up. I ate like crap this weekend. I feel super bloated or inflamed, stuff like that. And so, like, if you're watching this and you have a coach as well, it's on the athlete. The athletes, you need to put in as much effort, if not more, to your coach than your coach puts into you, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a big picture, and there's so many components that happen outside of the videos that go into the actual results that you see or don't see.
Right. Gabe, you're a father. Jason, you're a father.
Indeed.
And you're a father, too.
I'm a father. You have any life advice for the viewers about being a dad and being a strongman? Gabe has been the world's strongest man. If you didn't know that, you should look him up. He's also got a world record deadlift. And his daughter is also calling for him right now, too.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're there to keep him from doing dangerous stuff. I think in regards to being a parent and an athlete, it's about finding balance in all aspects of your life. And it's such a simple statement to make, but it is not a simple statement to actualize. And this sport is such an investment of yourself, of your body, of your willpower. Finding that balance is important because it's how much of you is left when the cameras are done rolling, when the gym doors shut, when you're with the people who matter most around you. And that's the biggest thing, is not having those 4-hour training sessions that eat up all of you, but maybe fitting it in with smart and intellect to an hour, 2 hours tops.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing too, right? We've been doing this now for about 3.5, 4 hours. And we did Circus Dumbbell. And not to say that I'm promoting that or that should be the norm, but it's like, it's so easy to get caught up in social media that people are just blowing PRs out the water. But at the end of the day, this is real life. Like, I'm probably going to have to do accessories for my workout tomorrow. And that's just something that I have to deal with as a parent as well. And I'm open about that with Gabe. I tell Gabe that all the time where, hey, I can't get this done today because my kid needs me. And I'm not going to prioritize working out over my son.
Yeah.
It's just really priorities. Like, number one priority is always going to be your kid. And so, number two priority, if that's strongman, that means you're going to have to do uncomfortable things. Like when I got the job, work out at 4 in the morning. Because if I want to train, but I want to see my kid, I need to train in the morning because my kid deserves the afternoon to see them.
Right.
So I think just understanding the priorities and working with the flow, making the flow of things work for you. Okay, I want to do two shows this year because it takes that much prep, and honestly I want to spend more time with my kids, see them, so it's 2 shows this year so I can have my fun but at the same time be a dad. So yeah, that's what's been for me.
For me, I think the biggest thing about being a father and also being a pro athlete is like, if there's a will, there's a way. And like, you got to make it work. Whether it's, like Jason said, training at 4 in the morning, or for me, right, like I have a remote job, I work from home. Like you said, this is a life investment. If you really want to do it, I'm going to invest my life into it. And this is kind of why you guys see me here. I have a home gym. Because, I want to be able to maximize every minute that I have. Time is probably the most expensive thing that we have in life. And so if I can save 20, 30 minutes driving to the gym by just going downstairs in my garage, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. It surely is the most fleeting thing as a parent.
Yeah. And plus, we made a mess. And we're going to go eat lunch now, and I'm going to leave this here. And you can't do that at gyms. And when I come back to this gym tomorrow, after, like I said, I have a concert to go to tonight, it'll still be here, and I'm going to regret not cleaning it up.
I'm guilty of that on deadlift. On deadlift days specifically.
I'm going to be very, very
deadlift
regretful.
days when the bar is just sitting there like, I'm going to go inside and eat right now. I'll come back later.
I'll come back to this later. But yeah, I know this wasn't a super structured video, and I haven't been posting a lot on YouTube, but I wanted to really take the opportunity that since Gabe is not local to Colorado Springs, and Gabe is a one, an icon in the sport, but also a really personal friend of mine. And then obviously we have, you know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson here that just showed up. My best friend, Jason Dorian, who's also my best man at my wedding. That's how, not just my best friend because, you know, we train together or anything like that. Actual best friend. But yeah, this is kind of a weird way to end the video, especially since Jason wasn't here when we started. We didn't really do a lot of really sexy dumbbell work, but we got some good weights lifted.
That's how training be, though.
That's how training be sometimes.
Yeah. I even lifted the dumbbell a few times.
Gabe trained, and you guys get to see that. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, they get to see that?
Yeah, I'm adding it in.
All right.
Gabe, what did you do? 125 today?
No, 135.
130. My bad. 131. 131.
131.
131. But you have to remember, because I know it's been a long video, Gabe just climbed a 14er yesterday, 2 days ago.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are somebody who works out, the day after is not the worst. It's the second day.
Definitely feeling the calves a lot more today.
Yeah. So how many guys do you know who's 230 pounds doing 14ers?
Lean and mean.
I'm not 230 pounds. He just said that. I'm probably like 260. Probably.
Gabe's the heaviest guy to climb a mountain. So that should be your new Instagram. The world's heaviest mountain climber.
Heaviest hiker.
Heaviest ascent.
We'll see about that. No,
Gabe has proven that gravity does not exist. And on that note, thank you guys for watching. Yeah. Bye. I don't have a real outro.